Hello, this is William McKissock with Schooley Mitchell, your expense reduction consultant. And as you know, we like to support other businesses and promote them for free on social media. And today we're having a little bit of fun that Jackie Skelton, who's with me here, we're both in the same room. So normally the person is the other side of the planet as far as I'm concerned, and I'm here. But today we're in the same room at the same time. I have Jackie Skelton with me with JR World Travel. Welcome to the show, Jackie.
Hey, William, how are you, dear? Yeah, I could be back in Australia or New Zealand, couldn't I?
Yes, we could be, and I could be back in Scotland.
Now we're cuddled up here together.
No, we are. We've got New Zealand and Scotland here together. So, Jackie, tell the viewers, as I say, this is a little bit different for me as well as you. Yeah. Tell the viewers a little bit about your background and how you came to be in the travel industry.
All right, well, I mean, I have an accent not quite as broad as yours. I'm out of New Zealand originally and 30 years in Australia. I had 2 years up in a third world country, Papua New Guinea. You know, I've worked all my life. You know, I had an opportunity and what have you. My husband, we came here to live because he was born in Australia but lived all his life here. And, you know, life happens, William, and we went back to work. So it was like, what are we going to do? And we've both done travel for many, many years and just never got paid for it. So we thought we'd open up our own travel consultancy. You know, that means that, I mean, we're licensed by another company, although we're autonomous. But one of the main things is in Florida, where we live here, I'm also licensed in Florida, which by the law you have to be. So there's quite a few little agencies that aren't licensed here, which causes all sorts of dramas. No, I love it. It's good.
So we've interviewed you on this show before. You were one of the first people that I interviewed way back in the COVID days.
Yeah.
So obviously there's been a lot of change in the travel industry with cruise ships, etc. Tell us a little bit about the changes and some of the updates and some stuff that people really need to know if they're thinking of traveling.
Okay, there has been huge changes since COVID. One of the main ones, William, is especially from the beginning or midway through last year, if you're going to do cruises, these cruise lines are packed. I mean, I'm booking out 26 already, and some of those cruise lines are 50% full already. Going down to the all-inclusives, those sorts of things haven't changed a lot. Pricing has changed, where the cruise lines tend to have held most of their pricing. But that is going to change, and that will change rapidly because it's been post-COVID now for a couple of years, and they still have to make their money. But a lot of the cruise lines are changing how they do things for the US market. Food is one of them, dining room food. You're no longer going to be able to just sit there and eat everything on that menu. You know, you're going to get your choices and you'll choose 3 or 4, whatever it is. After that, you're going to pay $5 or whatever the case may be. The increase, people are saying that prices have gone up. The cruise fares haven't gone up, but taxes and port charges have gone through the roof. And gratuities. Before COVID, $12 a day, now $18 to $16 a day per person. So that's where they're going to recoup some of their money and stuff like that, yeah. But other than that, yeah, I mean, it's buzzing along here, dear.
So there's something I want you to share with the viewers that you've talked at some networking groups that we've been at. You talk about people being stuck in other countries.
Yeah.
That's quite an important piece that I want people that watching this video to understand. What happens if you're stuck in another country? Tell us some of the background of the do's and the don'ts there.
All right. So, I mean, I'm pretty fierce when I'm wanting people to have a passport and I want you to be taking the travel protection insurance. They both work hand in hand. So let's forget about the insurance and go with the passport. If you fly, you need a passport. You can't get out of that. And April of next year, to fly internally, you're going to have real ID. That's another conversation. So the cruise lines years ago did a deal that if you were in a closed loop, that means you leave and come back to the same port. You didn't have to have a passport. I don't quite know who made the foolish, statement to get that far. So people go down to the Caribbean here and everything else on no passport because you can travel on an original state-issued ID, your birth certificate and a photo ID. But the thing is, so say you miss the ship or something happens, you can't get back on the ship. You can't get on a plane and fly home. If you don't have a passport, you cannot get on a plane and fly home.
Yeah.
So you're in a world of hurt. You need to be calling the embassy. They need to give you special papers to get back into the country and all that. So then it comes to the insurance side of things. And this is why, I know of 2 people now that are stuck. One's in Mexico, still there. His wife didn't have a passport, so she's not flying anywhere. And he was in hospital. He had got off the ship and had to have an emergency gallbladder operation. $195,000 later, no insurance. He has to pay that money before you are allowed to leave the country. You can't leave countries owing a debt. So that's the other thing. People will spend, $10,000, even $20,000, $50,000 on a trip overseas and not take out travel insurance.
Yeah.
The other lady, I think she's in Switzerland somewhere, and her bill was $825,000. So who has that money in their back pocket? Even if you're a millionaire, you don't want to be spending that amount of money.
Yeah.
Take out the damn insurance.
Yeah, for the sake of a couple of $100.
Yeah, it goes on age, unfortunately, William. Yeah. It goes on the cost, but it goes on your age. So the older you are, the more it is. I mean, Ross and I, on a $7,000 trip, we're paying $800.
Still worth it. It's still worth having that.
Yeah, of course it is. Yeah, of course. People have got to learn not to be so cheap. Yeah. Go get the passport. It's 10 years for $160 odd. Do not get the little wee card. It's useless. You can't get on a plane. Don't get the little card. You get the passport book, and always just take the insurance. And there's 3 levels of insurance. If you're going to the Caribbean, I've got a very low level, because that's probably enough if you're just going on down the Caribbean. But if you're going to Europe or the UK and places like that, I usually try and slot people into that middle section where you've got $500,000 to get you home if you have to be airlifted somewhere, and you've got $50,000 in medical.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Jackie. That's been a fantastic update. I wanted people to hear it right from one of the experts in the field. Jackie is my go-to person for my travel agent. And one thing I can tell you, I recently went a cruise, and Jackie got us an upgrade, which would normally cost per person $1,200. It was a couple of $100 to get us upgraded. So one of the joys of using somebody like Jackie is that she can get you the deals that you wouldn't normally get, and she can get you enhancements to your cruise, your pleasure cruise, that you normally wouldn't get if you did it yourself. Just pure and simple. She's in the know in the industry. I highly recommend you reach out to Jackie. Her details are at the bottom of this video.
Thank you.
So, Jackie, thank you very much for coming on the show.
William. It's always a pleasure.
Absolutely appreciate it. And at that, I'll hand it over to Dave for the weather.